Vocabulary. Let me tell you why this is so important. Here's an example. This is a real word. Now you read the sentence, he removed the chime. What is that? So when you don't understand one word, you don't know what's happening in the sentence at all. But when you know that this is actually the spine or the backbone of an animal, like let's just say you're cooking dinner, if you know that, then suddenly you understand the whole sentence. He removed the chime. Well, of course, he's cooking, right? See what a huge difference that makes when you know what the words mean in the sentence. I mean, that's just crucial to reading comprehension. And so this is what we're going to talk about, vocabulary. But first, now that is a totally made up word, okay? Now, let's just say it's a different word. It's a word your child does not know the meaning of, right? You ask him what a crage is, and he's going to go, oh, like I have a crage. Okay, you didn't tell me what it meant. You basically just put the word in a sentence, but they have to tell you what this means without actually using this word. Or sometimes they have a hard time verbalizing. Fine, have them draw you a picture of it. Have them give you an example. Have them actually show you what it means. So until they can do that, if they're just putting it in a sentence and not really telling you anything, they don't know what it means. And so you need to work on it. You need to make examples. You need to tell them explain to them very carefully what it means, and let them work with it for a while and really let it cement in their mind. And this principle on vocabulary is every bit as important on those little common words that we use every day. We used to test kids years ago. We would test them before we taught them all the meanings of these words, and then we would test them after, and their grade level in comprehension would sometimes go up like a full year. So never underestimate how important it is to understand all the words in the sentence, to understand what that sentence is saying, which equals reading comprehension. Let's look at the definition of from. We're actually not going to do every single definition because there's so many of them. What we're going to go for an overall idea or basic meaning. So on this one, the overall meaning is the origination point. And obviously that's not a word you're going to use on a 5-year-old origination. You're going to say, where it begins or where it starts. You're going to give them that idea of the beginning of it. So some examples would be he's from Canada. That was his starting place. Or this is from me. So it started here, going to you. Or a dog from a shelter. So that's where it started when you got it. So that's the starting place. That's where it began. So be sure to have your child make lots of examples. Like ask them, so where is this from? Or whatever it is in your house. Where's that from? Or from where would I get your shoes? My closet. Good, and have them make sentences. Have them give you examples, plenty of them, because the more examples and sentences they use, the more that is going to cement in their mind. If you look in a student's dictionary, you'll see at least 14, 15 definitions for this word. Your child, your 5-year-old does not need to know all those. Even I don't think an 8-year-old needs to know all of them. So in the very beginning, you want to give them an overall concept, just a general idea of the basic of what the word means. Okay, and try to do it without saying, too. So in this word, this gives you an idea of distance, like how far you went, as far as you went up until that point or at that point and stopped. Maybe some examples. The water came to my knees. I went to the store. It came up that far, or you traveled that far. Or I'm up to here with you. This is how far. So it tells you how far. Does that make sense? So with these, you want to get the child to participate, make sentences. If he can't, then you would say something like, okay, walk to the wall, and have him actually walk up until that point. Walk that far, and then he can actually see the meaning of the word. And if your child is mature enough, you can go into another definition, which is direction. You drove to south, or I turned to my left. So he is off to the side. So it's still giving you an orientation of where, as a general, even though they're slightly different, it's still a general overall concept of location. Okay, so a third definition for this is belonging with. Like, this is the cover to this book, or this is the cap to this pen, or the mate to a sock, or the door to that car. Have him go find things that belong with other things. And that's the key, is lots and lots of examples. Have them draw pictures. Have them, if they're able to write sentences or make sentences, just practice it. The more they practice it, the more that is going to stick in their head. So this one, when you're teaching it to a child, this is meant to be used by. So like you say, this is for you. How you're going to explain to a 5-year-old is something like, I want you to have this. This word is saying, I want this person to have it. It's a much easier way to explain it. This is for you. Examples of this would be like a phone call for you, a puppy for you. Lots and lots of examples. Go find them around the house, make them in sentences, draw pictures, whatever. Just keep using it until he's got a really good, solid idea of it. And if your child or student is mature enough, you can go into another definition, which means to support. Oh, I'm all for that. Meaning you like that, you support it, you want to help them toward that goal. So that's what that other definition of for is like. Oh, I am totally for pizza tonight. Or I am for getting a new puppy. Oh, this is a great one for examples, because you can say, okay, go stand by the wall. Or, you can have your child go stand by things or sit by things and put something else by something else. So, it's a real fun one to do. So what does it mean? Means next to, close to. That's a pretty easy meaning for it. Another pretty common meaning is through the means of. So that would be more for an adult. For the kid, you would say, what did they use to get that done? Right? So like, I got there by car. That's how I got there. I used a car to get there. I got a good grade by studying hard. So that's how you did good in the class, through studying really hard and putting in the work. So it's how you got somewhere. So you can ask, so for your kid, you can ask them questions like, so how do you eat? By using a spoon. Or how did you get to your room? By my legs. Or how, just ask them questions like that. And then they have to think, what did I use to get there? And then they get like a much better concept, like a general idea of what that word means. So it's a good one. That's a good one to know. And there's another sort of similar, like the person who creates it. It's still being done through that person. So it's more of like, instead of a how, it's a person. So like written by Dickens, right? So it was created by him. He's the one who made it. So that's when it's specifically, there's somebody who did it and created it. That's what that means. And so examples for your kid would be, okay, and who made that mess? Or, and then they get the idea that it's them. They're the ones who created that or did that. This is a good one. I think there's probably a lot of adults that they know when to use a and when to use the, but if you ask them, they might not be able to tell you. It's an important one. Kids should know this. So both of them mean one. You use a when it's not a particular, oh, hey, go get me a glass of water. Or hand me a pen. I'm not asking for a specific one, just any, or hey, let's get a dog. So I'm not asking about a particular one. You don't have to know which one I'm talking about. It's just very non-specific. So that's what you would tell the kid is it's not something that we know which one, Okay, versus the. When you say, hand me the pen, when I say it like that, it's generally, which one I'm talking about. Hey, go get the dog. Go bring the dog in. You see how when I say that, you know that I'm talking about a specific one. A fun activity would be to make a request, like get me a pencil and get him to do it, or get me the pencil. Like in this case, it would be get me the pencil. Just go back and forth, switch them up, use the, get him to do it, and lots of practice, look at the hang of it, and you make it fun. Now we're going to work on the word on. In a really simple dictionary like Webster's New World Dictionary for young readers, this has like 20 definitions. Okay, your 5-year-old does not need to know all those. The way to explain it to your kid is it's attached to it, stuck on it, it's touching it. And that's the overall concept of it. Like hair on your head, hand on the table, and then get your kid to run around and put things on things and look for things that are on other things and maybe do 20 of those. They're going to know that so thoroughly. And that's the basic. There's a lot of definitions, but for right now, that's really the only meaning that your child needs to learn. And then it's just using a lot of examples. And you would be surprised at how much learning all these little common words is going to bring up their confidence, their reading ability, and most importantly, their reading comprehension. Follow for more teaching tips.